shall survive. My people, open your eyes. Wake up. Blessed love, this is Queen Omega representing for all lions and lionesses. With the lion's voice, we come to tell our story. Rastafari, live it. Hey, hey, the lion's voice, Rastafari.
Yeah, David Dread of Steel Pulse, and I'm saying hail to Lion Voice because it's time that the lion have its voice, have its own story. Says I'm stepping out here, hear me now. Yeah, the lion's voice. Raw.
Well, actually, the Boers were the first people to exterminate the African people, the African Khoi people, jointly with the Xhosa people, because there were intermarriages between the Khoi people and the Xhosa people and the Sotho people. So they were all actually living in fellowship prior to the arrival of the Europeans. So even prior the arrival of Jan van Riebeeck, who came from Dutch through the Dutch East India Company in the 1652. There also came Bartholomew Dias and Vasco da Gama. And it was also, I think, reported that Francis Drake also secretly came and also declared war, I think 100 years before Jan van Riebeeck also came. So it took about 150 years after in 1510 actually was the year in which the Khoi king defeated the Europeans. And then after 150 years, that's when Jan van Riebeeck came. He's now the first European, Dutch, to exterminate the Africans in the south.
The year is 1892, and the land of Ethiopia has been experiencing 4 years of terrible famine and drought. They call it the Kikuken, or the evil days. At least 1/3 of the human population and 90% of the cattle have died. The hyenas have feasted on so many carcasses that they have become overweight and barely able to move. Just when the people could take no more of the evil days, a woman named Wasiro Yeshimabet is giving birth in a place called Ergersa Gora. This is her 9th attempt to bring forth new life. Her previous 8 attempts only resulted in death. Will this child live? Thankfully, a healthy baby boy is born. His first cries are drowned by thunder and lightning flashes across the night sky. The heavens open up and torrential rain starts to fall. Ethiopia's drought is over, and the baby boy is given the name Tafari, meaning one to be feared or respected. Tafari's father, Ras I-nity, is a very important man in 1892 Ethiopia. Although he is overjoyed at the birth of his newborn son, he cannot spend much time with him. Ras I-nity is the governor of Harar and must get back to the famous walled city to deal with its affairs. Furthermore, he is the foreign minister of Ethiopia, and having traveled to different places in Europe, he is very aware of the material and military advances they have made and the looming threats they pose to his country. Ras I-nity knows that the majority of Ethiopians have no idea what is coming, and that he has to work that much harder to secure the realm. Tafari would grow up to become the legendary emperor, Haile Selassie I. To understand his journey, we must first understand the Ethiopia that he was inheriting, and what it was like when he was born in 1892. Get your copy of Kwasi Bansu's book, Haile Selassie I, Ethiopia, Volume 1, The Rise of the Priestly Warrior Kings, and increase your knowledge about the history, politics, and culture of Ethiopia in 1892, and how it connects to the rest of African and world history at the time. Haile Selassie I, Ethiopia, Volume 1 is available for purchase at www.bookmanexpress.pub. Please visit for more information.
Give thanks and praises. We are here with another amazing program for the global Rastafari family. I promised that I would be talking to more of our brethren and sistren on the continent, and I like to deliver on the word sound that it will have power. So we give thanks Today we're going forward to South Africa, and this is a special interview for I and I because it's a brethren that remind I of myself when I was studying through university, doing programming events. Brethren reach out to I and we'll be planning an event moving forward. There will be more details down the line. We won't get ahead of ourselves. But the diligence and the initiative to reach out to speakers and different things the brethren has read Haile Selassie's Ethiopia Volume 1 and sent I one of the greatest comments that I've ever received, since I've embarked on this Lion Voice journey, because it came from the continent, and basically the brethren was giving thanks for the works. The brethren has been watching the Lion Voice. So give thanks, and I did make a phone call to South Africa to Sister Mimi, our sister, and she did say she know the Isle full, So is the family coming together, and we give thanks for that. So who am I talking about? Lion Pride family. I see the brethren here with I and I. This is Ras I-nity, otherwise known as Tohulu and Fulu, and you will correct I if the pronunciation was incorrect. I will go and get into the family name, all of that. Welcome, my brethren. Please introduce yourself to the Lion Voice, Lion Talk family.
Hail to the one, the Most High Creator and Haile Selassie, and this bona fide Queen Empress Menen Asfar. Yes, perfect balance of creation. Give thanks to the Lion Talk, the Lion Voice Network. Yes, for having Iman, Ras I-nity, otherwise also known as Tulo Mpolo, all the way from South Africa. Yes, Iman is a member of the Rastafari community. Iman is an activist. He's a member of New Race Consciousness, member of Rastafari Appreciation Society, member of the Rastafari Ganja Council, member of the Rastafari Nation Council, just a member of the Rastafari community, fulfilling the works of the Most High as the youthful, energetic youth in this time, towards stepping forward to be ancients in this Ayu. Give thanks.
Give thanks. And the reason that I said that the brethren remind myself, he's no longer in university, but I trod through university and we were reasoning about on-campus Rastafari organizations. I was part of the founding of a Rastafari organization, student organization at Howard University. The brethren was on campus doing Rastafari work, and we want to get into all of that because I want to paint a picture about the student works that are happening in South Africa and the different aspects of the community in South Africa. But before we go there, so tell us where you were born, and your journey to Rastafari.
Yes, well, Iman was born on the 7th of January, which I understand to be again in the Ethiopian calendar, in the year 1983. Yes, 41 years ago, So basically, that year was the year in which the apartheid government declared the state of emergency. That indicated that now there was the heightened level of resistance coming from the black ranks, African ranks. So they declared the state of emergency in 1983. That time, the president was still P.W. Botha, who refused to continue negotiations with Nelson Mandela. Then I was born in Welkom, in the province of Free State. The town was basically discovered by one known as Duplessis, who discovered the minerals, like the gold here, and actually developed the place and named the place Welkom and started working the land. But the Free State in general was basically named Free State as a result of the Anglo-Boer War. You will remember that the both people from the Dutch and Britain also came to colonize the same land. So they joined efforts together, but in their joining efforts, they also fought, among themselves, and that was called the Anglo-Boer War. And the Afrikaner, the Boers, were the ones now who had a sway and a hold in my province, my birth province, Free State. And then they called it Free State to indicate that it was the land that was free from interference by the British. So that's how it came to be known as the Free State. After it was named in honor also of the Prince of Holland, Prince Orange of Holland. So those are the.
So it wasn't a free state for the Africans who were there already.
Africans were there already. They were found there by the Europeans, but yes. It was made to be a free land, a free state for the Europeans.
For the Europeans. So how did the Boers treat the African people that were there? We know the history, but I want to hear it from the them who are there, because some may not know.
Well, actually, the Boers were the first people to exterminate the African people, the African Khoi people, jointly with the Xhosa people, because there were intermarriages between the Khoi people and the Xhosa people and the Sotho people. So they were all actually living in fellowship prior to the arrival of the Europeans. So even prior the arrival of Jan van Riebeeck, who came from Dutch through the Dutch East India Company in the 1652. There also came Bartholomew Dias and Vasco da Gama. And it was also, I think, reported that Francis Drake also secretly came and also declared war, I think 100 years before Jan van Riebeeck also came. So it took about 150 years after in 1510 actually was the year in which the Khoi king defeated the Europeans. And then after 150 years, that's when Jan van Riebeeck came. He's now the first European, Dutch, to exterminate the Africans in the south, the Khoi jointly with the Xhosas. And his maneuvers actually went to an extent of having overlordship over even the animals, which was the economy of the African people. He first made demands of the cattle, and other animals, but he specifically made a demand of the cattle, because cattle were used primarily for economic purposes. So, and he wanted cattle to exploit Africans and get cattle he would even set the prices himself, unfair prices, and sometimes take cattle by force. So, and kill people and take their cattle by force and take land also by force. So they actually assumed and obtained all the land through genocide and murder. That's how they got to control much of the land that they would have ultimately colonized, which is, the entire country, basically.
Well, great is the Almighty, and greatly to be praised in the city of Haile Selassie I, the mountain of His holiness.
Yeah, from Cape to Cairo, from Timbuktu to the Nile, the whole entire continent.
Beautiful for situation, the joy of the whole earth is Mount Zion, from Accra to Addis Ababa.
Yes, beautiful continent, better control, Mama.
Very beautiful.
From Cape to Cairo, from Timbuktu to the Nile, I smile. For Mama Africa.
I hear you call Mama Africa. Been so long since I see Mama. Father of Africa set the law. The lion come and dismantle Babylon flaw. We're gonna use solar energy, use sanitation to build the ecology. We utilizing green technology. We hailing Haile Selassie first without apology. And then we build the youth them economy. We dismantle Babylon monopoly. We teach the youth them how to live properly. Tell them make sure them got the title for them property.
Yes, this beautiful continent, better control, Mama Africa. From Cape to Cairo, from Timbuktu to the Nile, I smile. For Mama
I love you, Mama. Your heart never hardened. garden. I wanna turn all your slums into garden. I wanna stop all of your youths from starving. I wanna stop all of your tribes from warring. So much to say, so many feelings. We both been hurt, we both need healing. Since the League of Nations you've been appealing. You stand up against them backdoor dealing. I hear you call Mama Africa. Been so long since I seen Mama. Father of Africa set the law. The lion come and dismantle Babylon flaw. Then I hear you call Mama Africa. Been so long in America. Father of Africa set the law. The lion come and dismantle Babylon flaw.
So be still, all enemies of Jah. Know that he is the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, the Lion Conqueror. And it was said of Ethiopia, the highest himself shall establish her. His Majesty was born